Are you coming to Steam Storm?
I don't think so. I haven't. I didn't like register yet, and I think it's full. And like this is my downtime season during the winter time, so I really can't make plans right now for where I'm going because it's like I can't. So I'm probably not gonna come to Steam Storm. I haven't really planned um, my next coming year. I wanted to go to Las Vegas in February, but it's not
Oh,
happening
for Las
probably.
Vegas Open?
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna happen. We're supposed to be some Swedes going, but like the interest seems pretty low from the other ones. I'm like, okay, maybe I won't go
Okay.
because I mean it's great to travel outside of Sweden in February, but it's quite a long trip and yeah. So okay, uh, it's fine. Should I get any link somewhere?
If you want to.
Yeah, I was wondering if I needed to look at some material.
Okay. I've just posted it in the Blind Water Congregation Facebook group, our podcast, and yeah, and our Facebooks.
Oh, nice! It's gonna be like an open podcast.
Yes, yes. I mean, uh, all the audience can come and get some questions to us so we can answer them. However, mainly we three are gonna be on the topic. Maybe we will invite some other people. However, I'm not sure about it.
Okay, cool. I didn't realize it's gonna be like a live thing. Interesting.
Yeah, but mainly we are recording live, so the people can come in and ask some questions regarding the topics we are addressing.
Cool. Nice.
For example, when we are doing our Retribution podcast,
Yeah.
we had almost constant flow of questions regarding the topics, people asking us to expand.
Hmm? Nice. Sweet.
I will be right back. I need to take my phone with War Room for reference.
Sure,
Well, yeah, I should do as well, probably.
we all should. So the plan is Las Vegas Open, and then
I mean, it's probably not gonna happen.
oh,
So I'm no
smoke.
for sure I'm gonna go to Aros Kingdoms, which is like
Yeah,
a big tournament in Uppsala. Because I mean, there's gonna be a lot of Finns going there, and I usually meet up at the ferry and and shaft direct bodies to the tournament. But I think outside of that, I don't really have a lot of stuff set. I'm not sure if I'll be going to Lock and Load next year. I would like to go back to War Machine Weekend because that was such an amazing event.
well,
Um,
that's kind of obvious. Looking now, it's one of the biggest, it's not the biggest convention for War Machine
yeah,
Robots.
and it was fantastic. It was like beyond my expectations. So, but I don't know. Obviously, I want to go to the WTC. I'm not sure if I'll be playing or not, or just like watch machining. We'll see what happens with the teams and such.
Well, as long as it's in affordable countries, then why not?
Hmm. Yeah,
I'm
for sure.
also considering. Yep.
I mean, I'll be going there for sure. I'm not just sure if I'll be playing or not. So,
I'm
uh,
considering going also to the the WTC this year.
mm,
Unfortunately, last year because of the job, I was not able to
mm,
meet all the expenses that are
yeah,
come by traveling.
yeah. What do you do for a job?
I used to do. I used to be an engraver,
Hmm.
but the income was pretty limited. Right now, I'm working in a, let's say, IT company.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no, job like a job. And
Yeah.
what do you do for the living?
I'm an electronics engineer, so I work for a company called Fleur. We like produce thermal cameras, so you can see heat.
Okay,
So
that's
I do
cool.
like so I do like some electronic design, basically.
That's cool.
Works.
From February, I'm working for Sweden people directly because my firm was bought by Ericsson.
Yeah, but you've been doing that for like a few years, haven't you? I remember you talking about it.
About its second year.
Yeah.
In February,
You
it will be exact full 2 full years.
maybe before they were, the contractor of the Swedish company, and now they are owned by a Swedish company.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Okay. I'm gonna send you a list. I would like you to take a look around. Sorry, take a look at. This is from Polish Open that Conjuro. You know him, Konrad.
Yeah, it's his name is Carol, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Carol.
Carol. Yeah, Carol.
I believe it's Konrad. Carol
Conrad.
is his
Oh yeah,
brother.
sorry. Okay. I mixed them up. So it's Conrad
Yeah.
and Carol. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Conrad was the guy who beat him with cricks the last time I was in Poland.
Probably. Okay. Here are the lists on the Facebook chat. You can see them.
Yeah. I'm just gonna copy paste them into a text document so I can see them.
Of course. We're gonna take a look at those. And mainly we would like to talk about the last releases for the minions and what do we expect the minions to do in the 2016.
To be exact, about everything that can be used in minions, not only last releases. It's a whole faction review.
Yeah. What do we expect for the faction? Maybe we have some trends we'd like to talk about. Maybe there are some possible releases that we would like to see in the next year.
I'm really bad at speculating. Just you know, I'm really bad at wish listing.
So do we. Don't worry.
Oh my God, had a Razorback crew.
They do exist apparently.
Yes, I've never. Yeah, actually, I have played against one like back. This was a specialist tournament.
Yeah, ADR.
Yeah, of course, Jürgen Carver.
Yeah. Also, you and John Demaris and a couple of other music guys are personally on my hate list because of the spam and cheat.
The spam and cheat.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, man. Why?
Have you played against it?
Not yet, unfortunately, because we do not have any. Okay, no, we have right now maybe 2 players who play mainly Gators. So I had one. Okay, no, I don't know if Vassal Games counts. I had 1 and 3 Razor Balls. Sorry, Battle Balls killed my Stormwall with Arcane Shield on.
Yes, that's which they should.
No, they should not.
They should. On the cover speed, definitely.
I don't agree with it.
Your heart grows larger every time a Stormwall dies.
Yes.
No.
But I mean, the math works out. I mean, during Carver's feat, 3 battle balls should kill a Stormwall with Arcane Shield.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous. I mean, 2.5 battle ball under the Carver's feat should kill the Stormwall.
Yeah,
maybe 2
like
and 3/4 of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they should have some extra damage, I think. Yeah, but I think they should do like 60. I think is it like 20 per bore? It's dice. It's 13 dice. It's 13 and dice of 9. So they should do 20.
Yeah.
Actually, they should do 22 per battle bore. So they should do 66. Yeah.
So you have 12 damage spare. So 2.5. No, 2 and.
Yep.
Why?
I like it. It's pretty good.
No, it's not. No. Do not talk about it.
I'm looking forward. I only played it, I think, twice now, and I'm super looking forward to it in the next year, and I mean, it depends on, of course, when the lights are coming. They could be like the new Growler, so we'll see. But I think it's gonna absolutely
Yeah, I
breach
think they're
the
gonna be a
Lightning
little bit
Pigs.
faster.
Yeah, I
They
think
are
so too.
really catching up with their previous releases.
Yeah, and I also talked to Hungerford during the during War Machine weekend, and he thought they would be individual kits and be in soft plastic. So
Oh. So yeah, that could speed up the release a little bit.
yep.
No viewers still. That's surprising. Typically, we get at least 2 or 3 viewers during the pre-rumble.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't spoiled it enough in our teasers.
No problem. But I mean, you will publish this as a podcast later on, right?
Yes, of course. It will be both available as a video feed podcast. So this will go directly to YouTube in a couple of hours after we finish. And I will also edit it and post it as a podcast on both Google Drive, available to download, and SoundCloud to listen.
Cool, sweet.
After all, we are the first Polish podcast about War Machine and Horse.
Yes, awesome. You're up to like episode 8 or 9 or something, right?
This is episode 17 actually.
17. Okay, cool. I just googled Witch Hound and was like, okay. Thought I only saw like up to. I don't know. Okay, the last one I saw was actually episode 8.
Ah, you see.
Yeah.
We're up to 17 right now, and we are still going strong.
Nice. Very nice.
And this is the first time in English, but
Yeah.
probably it will follow.
Yeah, I've actually talked to Chris from Lost Hemisphere Radio, GD Bloke, the press ganger.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And we're gonna go in a, let's say, couple cooperation. We're gonna be hosted either on this side, maybe on the Muses when we start in English. I'm gonna still talk about John on the details, and well, they are gonna promote us, and we are gonna promote them.
Yeah, that's great.
Also, I'm doing a little bit for charity. I've just ordered I just ordered an Epic Alexia, which I promised Chris to send back to him for the charity event in February.
Okay, nice. What's the charity? Are they doing the cure for cancer or?
I believe Boost for a Cure.
Okay, Boost for a Cure. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I believe
name.
this is the one. And Chris asked if I would like to contribute, and I said, hell yeah.
That's nice. I did some charity work with Food Machine, not last year, but I think the 2 previous years. But I just didn't have like the time last year to get something together.
Well, if only the Primitive Press logos were not copyrighted, I would contact my previous job and make some really cool engraved mugs. However, I do not want to violate any copyright issues, so I won't.
No, I mean it's sort of
it's a bad idea.
Yeah, and it's sort of counterproductive to charity if you like end up getting a lawsuit on yourself. So.
Yeah, of course. That's why I can't do it. I would wish I could, but
Unfortunately, no.
This is the way of the life, young Simba. Okay, I might regret this, but I think I will post the link to a podcast to our Irish friends.
Uh-oh. I hope you can mute the microphones.
Well, they won't join us personally, but they will ask a lot of questions, knowing them.
It could be a long podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Actually, Siski, Oin has contacted me asking if I could make some English translated subtitles to the podcast, and he decided to start working on learning Polish.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and it is one of his motivations to listen to us.
Polish, I mean, I tried some pronunciation of the Polish words and it was impossible. It was like Chinese level hard.
I started last year learning Swedish, but I had to drop through to the work. But I'm planning to work on it during next year. So maybe in a year or longer, we'll talk a bit Swedish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna have to be because I can't learn Polish. Too tricky.
Oh, come on. Everybody. Listen, I have a friend in my current job. Her name is Francesca. She's Italian.
Yeah.
She speaks, of course, English,
Yeah.
Italian. She knows French. She knows the basics of Russian, and she just started learning Polish.
Nice.
And she's right now on the level. She's living here since April, and she's
Yeah.
now on the level that we can try to communicate with her in Polish. And she will not understand whole sentence,
No.
but she's able to pick some up.
So how would you say fire frog in Polish?
Fire frog.
Ognista żaba.
Ogista żaba?
Ognista.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, that's what I said. Ogista.
Ognista.
Ognista.
Yes.
Ognista, and what was the second word?
Żaba.
Shaba. So which one is frog and which is fire?
Żaba is frog.
Yeah.
And Ognista is fire.
Ogień is fire, but Ognista is
fiery.
Okay.
In Poland, in Polish, we use really high density of adverbs. Our language is a little bit fluent, so some English verbs, when you translate them, we are making a lot of verbs and adverbs from them. Like fiery, it's fire frog. While we're talking about the species, we can pronounce it like fiery frog, and it's exactly the same thing for us.
Okay. Right.
We'll start the actual podcast in around 10 minutes, so we can still talk shit.
Sure.
A bit of trash talk, as always before.
Yeah. So what's happening in Poland? Like last time I was there, over there, you were doing like the basically Polish Masters, and you had the league going on. Is that still the basis for team selection in Poland? Because you did have some like for the second team you had like the winner of the league.
Year by year. Right now we have selectioners who are considering candidates from the players and who would be the best on which team. So it's like one captain chooses 4 people for him. Rather, they are choosing the whole teams, and then separate the players, judging by the skill and how will they.
The thing is that in the past it went in wrong way. That we had joined league with selection, and it make some politics and sick situations. So we decide to move away from this idea.
Sure. But still, Polish Masters and the Polish National League are the big things for us. Such as tabletop tournaments, the T3 are for German.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go to the Gobber Crown in a couple of months, since it's in Berlin.
Yeah, I remember reading something about this. I have to Google it, what it actually was.
It's a 2-day tournament in Berlin. The entry fee is 20 euro.
Mm.
And the most amazing thing for me is because I live in Stettin.
Yeah.
I live closer to Berlin and I have better connection to Berlin than any other Polish city.
Yeah, can see that.
For example, to go to Poznań,
Yeah.
which is the closest city, big city for me, it's 2.5, almost 3 hours worth of driving, while to
Yeah.
Berlin it's hour and a half.
Yeah, okay.
So
Yeah, okay, I can see on the
yeah.
map. Poznan.
And the roads in Germany are better than in Poland.
Yup.
Uh,
Last time when I was driving to Berlin, I was driving with my mother. I was dropping her off at the airport, and when we were traveling with her, it took me an hour and maybe 40 minutes. But when I went back to town, it took me hour and 10.
I see.
So yeah, the roads are good.
Yep. Cool.
Also, if you are interested, the guys from Bydgoszcz are creating one of the qualifiers for Clock-on Invitational,
Okay.
and they are creating the biggest tournament in Poland, and it should be as our international tournament.
Hmm. Where was it? Did you say? Which city?
Bydgoszcz.
Where is that? What's the closest airport?
Bydgoszcz.
Okay. How do you spell it?
Okay, it's. Do you want the NATO alphabet?
Yes.
Okay, so it's B for Bravo,
Yeah.
Y for Yankee, D for Delta, G for Golf, O for Oscar, S for Sierra, Z for
Okay, I think I
Zulu.
got it.
Okay.
And then C and Z.
Yeah.
There we go. Good course. Polish. Let's see. So, can I actually get there? I'm just
It
gonna
will be April.
do a preliminary check if how it's doable. Do you know like about which month it is gonna be?
April.
April.
The first weekend of April, I believe, or the second April.
9th of April.
Okay, let's see if I can get there. I wanna fly on Friday.
Yep, second.
On Sunday. Okay, it's gonna be one stop for sure. That's expected.
It's gonna be a good tournament.
Okay, it seems pretty. It's not impossible. It's a pretty long flight. It's gonna be like 6 hours with one stop.
Where would be the stop?
Because we have to like change in Frankfurt probably or Munich
Okay.
or something.
You could also consider going to Poznan, and from Poznan there is 2 hours worth of driving, or there is a train that's also train that's also taking around 2.5 hours.
Okay.
So there are ways you can connect to that. To them.
Yeah. If you can post it up on some place just so it's
I
easy.
believe it's on privately press forums.
Okay, cool.
I'll take a look immediately.
I will look also.
I believe they posted it because, well, we are really putting a lot of attention and work.
Oh, there we go. Now we are open.
No, it's not yet posted. It will be in.
It's some. I mean, there's someone PG Scapa.
Yeah.
Posted something.
Yeah, PG Kappa. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's something.
Oh, because he didn't post it in Polish.
Oh, he posted it on like the unofficial events.
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, we're gonna try and promote it as hard as we can, as much as we can. We really would enjoy as many people there as it's possible.
Yeah.
Of course, as many as the venue can hold.
Mm.
The guys have really nice hotel. It will be in a 4-star hotel.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And for the food, the sleep, yeah, and the whole tournament for 3 days.
Mm.
So from sleeping from Friday to Saturday and Saturday to Sunday,
Yeah.
with food throughout the event, it's 100 euros.
That's very good. That is very, very good. Yeah, it actually says tournament food room, 100 euros, food, 1 dinner Friday night, 3 meals Saturday, breakfast, lunch, and Sunday. Cool. I think that we're gonna need like 1 more night probably, because I don't think that the plane, like from what I can see now,
Yeah, but you can always manage another night there, sorry,
Yeah.
or even find a cheaper hotel.
Yeah. No, I mean it's just it has to logistically it has to work out, and I think like looking really quick on like travel times, it's you would have to leave on Monday probably, because otherwise you would have to leave at like around lunchtime. But that's fine.
Okay, I think it's full hour, so time to start.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so. So our typical start.
Okay, I'll turn off Facebook.
We'll introduce you in a second. Hey, and welcome to Hound, the first Polish podcast about War Machine and Hordes. My name is Adam, and I play Signar.
And my name is Jaromir. I'm a player from Krakow and Pressganger, and I'm playing Scorn, Retribution, Mercenaries.
And other stuff. And my beloved guests, my dear friends, we have a very special guest host with us, the Swedish chef himself, Rockhard Rickard Nielsen.
Thank you very much, Adam.
The former Polish champion.
Yes, the old has-been.
Yep, the first Polish champion? No, the second Polish champion, I believe.
Yeah, I don't actually remember. It was like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think 3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Way, way in the past, before Rask.
Yeah.
But Malok were there.
Yes, Malok was around, and that's all I needed.
I believe it was the first year of the Malok.
I think yes.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was when you played the 3 units of Gators.
Yep. And that stayed until the Crow Raiders hit.
And we're gonna talk about that in a couple of moments.
Yes, it was 2012, so it was 3 years ago.
Mm.
Yep, something like that. Okay, let's now talk a little bit about the minions, because as you might have imagined, this is gonna be the topic of our conversation. I think, Rickard, you are arguably the most renowned and the best player of minions in the entire world.
Maybe, I guess.
Don't be so shy.
at least the best that we know.
Yeah,
maybe there is some hidden talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. I think now that the minions are getting more options, like Crow Raiders with the new pig lights and stuff, I think we're gonna see a lot of more emerging players pop up.
That would be really, really interesting, and seeing how it would shake up the meta, what would happen then.
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna focus, as I said before, on the minions in 2016. Mainly, we're gonna discuss it on a couple of lists from WTC.
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna talk about the trends. Of course, we're gonna take a look at the Conjuro's Conrad lists from Polish Masters because he decided to play some minions.
Hmm?
And talk about the weaknesses, the strengths, and what we are expecting in 2016, judging by the new releases and everything the faction has now to offer.
Sounds good.
Okay, Yaro?
Okay, so maybe let's start with the list from Polish Masters,
Yep.
where we can see that Konrad took Lord Carver and Jaga Jaga, the Death Charmer. And what do you think about his lists? And will be this more the trend of playing, or it will change with time?
Okay, so the list I'm looking at are Lord Carver in ADR with a Roadhog and a Warhog for Battle Group, double unit of Brigands with one Warlord each, one Razorback Crow, double unit Slaughterhouser, and Maximus, and objective armor objective. Specialists is another Roadhog, Alton Ashley, Pendrake, and two FR Scouts. The Jagga Jagga list is two Bull Snappers, a Wrestler, one Min unit and one Max unit of Raiders, one Shambler unit, 2 unit of Posse, minimum units, Swamp Gubbers, Feral Geists, 2 of them, Thralg and Totem Hunter, Dorm Objective again. And Specialist is another third Bull Snapper, a Sacrebolt, a Witch Doctor, and a minimum unit of Ambushers. It's pretty interesting because like my last 2 tournaments, I also did Carver and Jagga Jagga, one in ADR and one outside. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about how I did my lists. And
Okay.
for Carver,
judging only by the list that he played, what are the trends you would see there? What are there things immediately you think that you would remove, or?
Okay, so in the Carver list, for example, I'm not a big fan of the Warhog at all. I think it's a pretty mopey piece, and I think with Carver you can get some hitting power anyway. Like if you want to have for a battle board, or if you want to like have a good beat stick, I think that Brine just does like the long range beat stick thing better generally. Because I mean, Lord Carver will speed up the Warhog, he will make it more durable, but it's still, if you want to take down something heavy, you have to time the feet very well. It's still only 9.5 inches threat, so it can be sort of avoided or controlled. So I'm personally not a fan of the Warhog. I like the Roadhog with him. It's really good to give some Jojo shenanigans to Carver, so he can be more active in the battle. I also love the Brigands and the Warlord with him because CRA, AD, and everything make them a really, really good unit, even though they come at a high cost of a total of 11 points.
Yeah, I personally believe the Brigands are only really reliable in Carver's lists.
I would agree. I think they absolutely shine the best with him.
Yeah.
I think they have a place with Helga and Midas as well, but you can usually do, at least with Midas, you can probably do something better with just Bone Grinders. But you can do it, but because they're really good with Calamity. I would also drop. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. I can see that. But please continue.
Yeah, so I would probably definitely get rid of the Razorback Crow. I'm not really sure why he would bring it, because I think that for the 3 points you can probably do something better or tweak the points around. I would think
maybe some.
I would rather have.
Yeah, maybe some of the Razor boards, or what was the name?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, you can add a Razor board. Not really sure what you would do with the spillover points. You could do just a maximum unit of Bone Grinders.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, something like that, or just points.
I'm interested in your opinion about. I don't know if you hear or seen the list that was used by Lord Carver on Chain Attack.
I'm not sure.
The Hammer's
It's
the Hammer's
Lord,
yeah.
It's Lord Carver 4 splatterboars and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 battleboars.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. I mean,
It's an abomination.
yes, yeah. I mean, it's pretty crazy. I've played it twice, and I played it like in a proxy game against Keith during War Machine weekend, and I think it's gonna be a really strong list. It's got just random good answers to a lot of stuff that you really wouldn't expect. It's fast, it's durable, and I think that Carver is pretty much the weak link in the list, and he's usually standing at 13-20 with a transfer and probably maybe behind smoke or behind some meat wall in the form of light beast. So I think that's going to be.
Really
I mean, I think
depends on if you need to put their mobility. If only
I think yeah. But I think even though you want to keep him as low on fury as possible, because you will force a lot. I mean, because you don't have. I mean, you have pretty much only light beasts. You might add a Gorbachev. That's one version. You just drop one battle board for one Gorbachev and a max unit of bone grinders for fury management. But I think that you don't really want to stand Corvin of 3 fury because it's better to be able to leech off the fury from the light so they can do more work instead of playing defensively. And I think you can play this list really aggressively.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you are really risking the assassination to come through, and you know how the cover games usually end, him being dead.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you still have, like, if you see it coming, you will push the light beasts way ahead of him. I mean, he's gonna probably tow their bases with his controller for batten down, and I don't think it's gonna be trivial for the enemy to get to Carver without actually killing a pig, which allows him to actually reave if he sees that there's a threat coming. So I mean, even if you go low, you can still block the angle so that you would have to kill something to get to him, and then he will get more transfers if needed. That's like my thought.
Okay.
That's certainly interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, but going back to the Conrad's Carver list.
Yep.
I think that the way I like to play Carver is pure dude spam before until the light beasts come. So the way I did it was just 3 razor boards for the battle group, and then I had 32 brigands, like three full brigand units, 2 with warlords, 18 slaughterhousers, and Saxon Auric just for Pathfinder. So I mean, that's just pure dude spam, everything ADs, and everything has CRA that has a gun. Then you just shuffle forward and kill stuff and try to out-attrition the opponent. But I mean, I still like Maximus in that list. Maximus under Carver's feet is really has great potential because he can do the Pac-Man thing with overtake and the Berserk. So I mean, he can actually at Mat 8 and the double weapon master, he can shoot through a lot of stuff unless he gets like stopped by tough. I would like to see Saxon Auric either in the specialists or in the main list because Pathfinder, especially on Slaughterhousers, is amazing. I would probably drop Pendrake for Saxon, but it sort of depends on how he wanted to drop his lists. I can see.
Or maybe drop the Razorback crew.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can't have Saxon and Pendrake in the same list.
Because of the animosity. Yeah.
Animosity, yes. So I mean, it's not an easy choice. Pendrake is definitely awesome, but I think. Okay, so Pendrake I would probably put in my list that I wanted to put against, for example, Legion and Circle, because those are the factions I need the extra hit boost the most. He would work awesome with Crow Traders, but I would suspect that the Lord Cover list is probably the list he wants to drop against maybe Legion and probably against Circle. And then it also makes sense to have the higher armor in the form of Roadhogs and Warhogs.
Sure. Now let's talk a little bit about the Jag-Jaga.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say...
Obviously a quick drop.
Probably a quick drop, yeah. I'm a bit skeptical to the minimum unit of Crow Traders. I would like to see it just maxed out. We have one min unit and one max unit. Against Crix, he would probably want to include one Gateway Witch Doctor, and I sort of don't really like the interaction between the Bogtog Shamblers and the Witch Doctor, because you either want to be undead against Crix, and then you don't get any bodies, or you don't get any souls from the Sacred Vault, or you want to keep them alive just to harvest everything, and then you probably want some more bodies. So I'm not actually a fan of the Shamblers against Crix in particular. So if that's like the primary Crix drop, I think I would drop the Shamblers, get the second Croak ready to a full unit, and do something fun for the last three. Maybe just a second Gateman Witch Doctor, or
dropping one Feral Guys.
Yeah, or get one Passe to a full unit. That's like. But I mean, it's pretty good. It's got a good volume of attacks. It's got some throwing shenanigans. It can get in a Sacred Vault without much effort.
If he decides to put it into, of course.
If he decides to put it in. It's also what I like about Jaggy and the way I like to play her the best is to make her into sort of a gun line, which he can also do by getting in the vault.
Because of the Spell Piercer?
Because of the Spell Piercer, and it's actually, I think, probably the best solution against P. Haley. That has been a problem for I think minions generally, because we like to do melee stuff, and we have problems cracking armor 22 if you can charge, especially if they have a shield guard close, so Ras can debuff the Colossal. Then I think Yagi Yagi Gunline is really, really good, because then you can steal one round a Colossal if you put enough fire into it.
Tell more about P. Haley for Scorn player.
Yeah, I can see that.
Players.
Is it really a problem for Scorn players? Can't you just do Fist of Alak into her and do like the Moloch advance a million inches and Fury and Feet and just kill it?
Well, Moloch will not advance 11 inches in the fist. It only advances 11 in what was the name? Pimakeda.
Pimakeda, but it's still like advance. Is it 10-inch threat range, right, for Moloch? Even under Temple Barrier, advance 8 with Rush and then Reach.
I don't think you can rush then.
You can rush, but you can't enrage. So
you can enrage.
So the problem is hitting, because power 13 against armor 23 is still problematic.
But it's still double weapon master, right? I think it's the same as the Battle War. So it goes to, I mean, it's you get Fury.
Doing 1 point of damage by each attack, so.
No, but with Roxy you can also put Fury. So you would go to PS16 double weapon master, dice of 6. So it's going to be 8 per attack.
Okay, yeah, and you are still forgetting you can always go with a P or Imakeda and go for Infinite Karn.
Yes, that's true.
And
also.
that will kill us all, certainly.
Yep.
For all the listeners who might not know what the Infinite Karn is, it is a really stupid iteration of the rules. Because as we all should know by now, Moloch Karn gets an additional Fury when he is in the Makeda's control area while he is in her battle group. Now, the Fury rules say that when you go out of the control area, you immediately drop the excess Fury. But if you put a retain rig on, if you position yourself just on the outside of her control area, go a little bit outside of her through the train wreck attack, you drop the Fury, come back in, finishing the movement, and you have once again 5 Fury, so 1 Fury left for attack, and on and on and on and on and on till infinity.
Yep. So I mean, it gets stopped by basically everything at the random tough roll could stop it. If it's like if it's tight, or I mean you could miss, but I guess the Colossal it's not as likely.
But if you take Emakida and Bronzeback with beatback, you can beat back to the Colossal. You don't move him, move half inch out, half inch in control area, and
Yeah. Infinite
Yeah.
Calm is go. Okay, let's
Yeah.
go back to the minions. It's not score time, Yarrow.
Yeah. Okay, so
oh,
one
why?
you
It's
have
never
to do
score
the
time.
Scorn episode instead.
Never.
Well, okay, so one thing I like about the specialist in the Yaga Yaga list is the minimum unit of Bogtrog ambushers, which I also think is really good against Signar because P. Haley with double colossal is pretty bad, usually for minions. But what's even worse is P. Haley with Tempest Blazers. That's so incredibly frustrating that I don't really know what I can say about
Why?
it. But I mean, because you're never ever gonna reach them. Gators hate getting shot at because they don't get the unyielding. They can maybe get to PS18, but it's still the Power 10 Weapon Master is gonna cut through them like no problem at all, especially
Yeah.
during feats. But Bogtrog Ambushers actually helps in keeping the murder ponies honest. In that, if they are like light caving out on a flank, uh, they will get ambushed. And Bogtrogs don't really have big problems killing the Tempest Blazers. And if they have to stay a little bit more in the center, you can still do like throwing shenanigans, which this Juggerist also has in the form of the Black-Eyed Wrestler. So that helps immensely actually. And
Sure.
I mean, it's a unit that's not usually seen, so people tend to forget about them from like the mid game if you just ambush them and keep them. So it's a really good specialist value unit, and
I'm
it's
so
good seeing them.
waiting for the hot check, and for people who are forgetting about the ambush, I'm so waiting for the hot check.
Okay, so we don't talk about Hotchak with minion players because we're super bitter and salty about him.
Oh, come on, he's so cute.
The thing is, like, I actually haven't looked at him so closely because I saw his entry and I was like, does not work for minions. Okay, fuck him.
And then you realize his rules, and he's just like, wait, why he does not work for minions?
No, it's like I mean, he's blanked out. I don't think about him. It's not like it would be great if he worked for minions. I was like, no, I don't care. He doesn't, so I'm not gonna think about him.
Okay. Okay, let's go a little bit further then. I have pulled up the list from the WTC, and from what I can tell, during the whole WTC, there were only 3 casters being played. It was
Yes.
Barnabas, the Rusk, and occasional Maylock, I believe. I saw
Yes.
it somewhere.
Yeah.
In the Belgian
Yeah.
team.
So actually, I have some old notes I took down. So I mean, everybody played Rask, which is not surprising, and then we had three Barnabas lists and 1 Maylock list.
Yep, exactly. So, what are your thoughts about the casters? Which of course, after the Rusk is your favorite minions caster? Which one would you expect to do best in the coming year?
I think, like, personally, I think still that Maylock is the stronger pairing with Rask because he saws a lot of stuff for him and he's just a generally strong caster. But I can sort of see after the Crow Creators coming out that Barnabas would be a good pairing to Rask, and especially in a team format where he would present a stronger skew. He can do a strong
Sure.
pop and drop, and Crow Creators are really, really good with him. So
Okay, I'm gonna stop you here. Crow Raiders are very, very good. Point.
yes, very, very good period, and nobody is surprised about that.
Yeah.
So if I went to WC with minions, I'm not sure if I would actually do Bloody Barnabas because I think he has some weaknesses that are hard to surpass. And in a really like tough competition, I think that you would get more use of either going with Maylock for a more general approach, still very good against Krix, still very good against Legion, for example, or Circle.
Don't
Or
you think
maybe
that
do
Barnaba
something.
can be anti-signal drop?
I actually don't like him very much into Signar because the thing is that he can, through Swamp Pits, deliver Gators to the enemy, but as soon, I mean, okay, so the trick against fighting Swamp Pits with shoot units is that you engage the Gators early, because as soon as the Gators are engaged, they have to activate and like kill what's ever standing in front of them. And because swamp pits can only be put like on places where there are not already existing models, they can't move into the swamp pits afterwards. So you would sacrifice some units. The gauges would not be able to be put in the swamp pits later, and then you can shoot them.
Okay.
And then just re-engage them. So that's one reason why I don't like swamp pits into Signar, because you can get around them. For example, Epic Kane will just kill them. He will maybe engage them with boom howlers, and then they again don't get the swamp pits, and then they just die. They also have the trouble against Signar with, for example, P. Haley, because Barnabas can never ever crack an Arcane Shielded Storm wall.
Yeah, he doesn't have it also.
1 second, Adam, correct the link, because the link you sent it's connecting to the.
Yeah, I know. But however, we can't really correct this right now. We would have to end the podcast and create another one. If the people would like to join us and ask the question during the Q&A, they would have to click not the start button, but the play. And the play is taking you directly to the watching of the podcast.
So maybe write it the information.
I've written the information on the event page, and I will also post it and on the all the threads. We are really sorry about the inconvenience.
Oh, no problem for me.
The problem is for listeners, not for us.
True. Okay, should I just go on about Barnabas?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So that's so that's one reason why I don't like Barnabas, which is seen as anti-shooting into actually a shooting faction, and I think especially with the Haley 3 probably gonna get I think it's gonna become more popular. I think it's gonna see more and more trouble because he has one good feat turn where he can actually hit the high defense stuff. But if the Signar player can hide the important things behind clouds and get the revive attrition going, I think it's gonna be hard for Barney to actually to win that game. But I like Barnabas. I think he's basically one strength buff away from being really good, and he's a solid caster. I just think that he has too many holes, and it's hard to find one good general purpose list with him that can take on a lot of stuff. And if you go with the pure pop and drop, it has weaknesses.
Of course.
Okay, so basically what telling to our listeners is you still believe the Rask and the Maylock would be the best two minions, but how about the Jaga Jaga?
Jaga Jaga is tricky. I tried to spend a lot of time with her this autumn, and I think she's a good toolbox, but she's lacking some generally good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about her is that she has she doesn't really do a lot of things for the engagement posse, which I think is generally a big weakness. I mean, Maylock, you can armor them up, you can revive them for greater threat range. With Rask, you of course have the feat, you have Fury, you have boundless charge, and Jaga Jaga has basically nothing except for Ghost Walk for the posse, which is like the bread and butter unit. She works fine with Crow Raiders. She also gives them Ghost Walk so they can't get entangled. Spell Pierce is of course really good, but she runs, I've noticed, into trouble when she encounters basic high defense and high armor that Spell Piercer can't negate, and that's I think her big issue. So you have to find something that's low enough base defense and armor that you can just wail at them. There's no threat extension, and the feat can be so.
Okay, I get it. And about the other side of the minions, because we all know, and some of us respect that not all the minions are gators.
Yes,
we are still talking about Carver.
Yeah.
What about
Uh,
something else? Maybe Nature of the Beast?
yeah, oh, that's such a great list. I played it like I think last year, or like about 1 year ago, and it's a really strong list. It's a really fun list. Uh, the reason I don't like grind it more and like, get really good at it to take it to tournaments is that
You don't own
while
it, Goraxes?
no, I do actually.
Oh,
I haven't converted them, but it's that it's super punishing for mistakes. Like you can, if you deploy slightly wrong or make like one strategic error early, like you send the wrong stuff to the wrong place, you get super punished for doing that. So you have to be really, really experienced with the list and know what you have to do in every matchup you go into, more or less, like when it's a little bit tricky. So it takes a huge amount of experience and getting good with that list and basically playing it over and over again into a whole slew of stuff so you don't make any mistakes when you actually play it. And I think that's sort of what kills it for me. But I think if you spend time with it, I think it's one of the minion's best lists for sure.
okay. I can see that.
Question
Um,
from me, Ricard. If,
Hmm?
as we know, in the past, it was the way that gators were, I think, always stronger than porks.
yeah,
Um,
I would agree.
uh, what do you think about the new releases? Did it's more balanced or power is shifted now?
I think definitely that the gap has closed, and I think with the spam and cheese list, I could see that pigs actually become as good as or even better, I think, than gators, because it's like such a strong skew. It's not difficult to play, and you can still tweak it a little bit. And I mean, you can do the light spam with arcades as well. You could go from doing the 14 beasts like old Arc with tour everything. You could go to, I think it's 6 battle boars, 4 spider boars to Gorax, Targ, and I mean with unit bone grinders, and I think that would be a really good list as well. You would go from 14 beasts to 12 beasts, but I think the overall quality is gonna be better. Uh,
Certainly sounds interesting.
Yeah. So I think that the pigs is gonna get a big boost for sure with the new lights, and we're gonna see some strong archetype lists that are easier to play and more forgiving for mistakes. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Now, okay, so we basically, I think, covered casters for the most. So maybe let's talk about something else. Maybe let's talk about beasts. Except for Battle Boar and Splatter Boar, which we all know are amazing.
Mm.
What is your favorite beast in Gators, and what do you expect to be most utilized in 2016?
I think my favorite beast in Gators is probably the Black-eyed Wrestler, purely because of Rise.
Really?
Because I think, yeah, I mean, it might not be like the best beast, but I think that Rise is such an interesting mechanic and open up so much for like threat extension shenanigans that I mean, it's interesting and fun and also powerful. Because
Okay.
you can do all the Gator throwing. You can catch some
Yeah,
opponent.
I get that. I just I'm a little bit put off balance because I didn't expect you to pick. For me, I will be one of the worst beasts in Gators.
I mean, it's the thing is, it's the stats are not really good.
Yeah.
For I mean, for I mean, okay, so you get a pretty tanky beast for like the 12-19 chassis. The offensive output is not good. I mean, you have the
Yeah,
power
it's
14 feet
terrible.
and the power 17 bytes. So that's why usually
Without
you only
reach.
bring, yeah, without reach. But that can be fixed.
Yeah, but take
Yeah,
another 8 points.
with another beast with the Swamp Horror, which is
Yeah.
fine in Rask. I mean, I love the Blackhead Wrestler and Swamp Horror combo with Rask, and I
Well,
mean Fury fixes his Pillow Fistedness and Boundless Charge gives him a free charge,
I
so that's
personally
good.
love Wrong Guy and Snapjaw with in Rusk because
Yeah, I mean
Snapjaw with Elasticity and Fury goes long ways and murders shit.
yeah, I love Wrongy as well, but I think for like how would I say, my favorite beast. Maybe not the strongest beast, but I think the beast that actually opens up the game for Gators the most, I think, is the Wrestler. But
Sure.
I super love Snapture. Submerge is such a good problem solver. Oh, that's
it's
actually.
amazing.
I would like to ask Conrad why I didn't include him at all with Jaga Jaga, because that's also pretty good against a lot of stuff. For example, Signal Retribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll need to bug him later. But I've got one more question regarding the minion beast. What do you think about the Gravewalker?
I'm not sure. I mean, if you talk about the Black Wrestler having a poor damage output, uh, the Blind Walker is even worse with only. I mean, it's a heavy that capped at PS14. Of course, that's the same problem with the Roadhog. It's a weird arc node. It's got speed 5, but it can't because you have to cast Animus. You can't run it an arc, so you would have to cast Animus, and you can trample, which fills it with Fury because it's Fury 3.
Yep.
And the Animus is 2, and it can, but that's fine.
But on the other hand, because it has the arc on the Animus, if it would run, you also complete the Fury. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, but you would lose some threat range, and I mean you can still throw it and those stuff. It's a good throw bot, and it's cheap. It's 7 points for armor 20, which is tankiness, but I don't think that Gators really need more tankiness because I can get that with Maylock, and I mean we have Spiny Growth, so I mean we still have. I mean, armor is not like a big how to say, a big hole for minions. It's something that we can get anyway.
But on the other hand, the Shield Guard.
The Shield Guard is good. I mean, it's fine for 7 points. I'm not really excited about it. It's obviously best with Caliban. I don't think that Barnabas really needs it. I don't think Maylock needs it. Rask can, of course. I mean, Rask makes everything good, but he doesn't need it for the channeling ability.
It will be really good in Pigs, I believe.
Yes, yeah. I mean, pigs would probably love it. I don't see. You can probably use it with Jaga Jaga, but mostly as a throwing bot, and it's good. Okay, it's good for Jaga Jaga to get the what's it called, the deadweight spell much deeper without having to risk her, because she doesn't have any spell extensions in the form of bone grinders. So just getting a key deadweight on a colossal or like a threatening heavy could be really valuable. So that's one thing I could see also.
I think that Blind Walker it's maybe only be interesting due to making him arm 22 as anything other than channeling.
Yeah, I mean he's a big beefy guy.
Yeah.
7 points are only I think the only reason for you would like to take it if you have not enough points for Rustler, I think.
I think like if you want to have the throwing shenanigans, you would make space for the Wrestler. But yeah, but we'll see what happens. I mean, we didn't get a Gator caster. Maybe the next Gator caster will be more like a spell slinging type. I mean, it's obviously good for Caliban. A lot of people are excited about Caliban because it actually allows him to get Parasite up and makes him less clunky. You don't have to position him so carefully.
Also his speed really goes up with the ability to arc some spells.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's something I'm gonna see, and because Caliban is on the ADR next season, I think he's gonna see more testing and see what people can come up with. Because I think the Blind Walk is out in March, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I think so. So it's gonna be like a solid 3 or something months of actually getting him on the table and see what he can do.
Okay.
It still depends what will be in others in the next season. Maybe Caliban will not go out of the chart, so
yeah, like something, or maybe Jaga Jaga could come back in because she's a really good ADR caster. She loves having like a lot of options, so she can super tool her list against the enemy.
Sure. Now, Yaro, what is the next step in our discussion?
I think that's so. If we talked about warlocks, war beasts, so maybe battle engines, as Worm says. I think that this is important due to its only huge bases in this army. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, for now. Okay, so battle engines. Obviously, the Sector Vault is like probably seen as the better battle engine of the Minion Pact. I tried playing it with Caliban. I took 3 Sector Vaults actually, just trying to really kill the dude spam, and it turned out to be terrible. It was really bad. So my big issue with the Sector Vault is that it's super slow. Like on paper, it just shuts down single mode infantry, but it's not really true. Like the opponent would have to have such a specialized list, maybe like I don't think like P with 30 Banes and 30 Mechanic Throws would be shut down by that list, because you only need to deliver one thing to the Sector Vault and like get it out of the zone, and then you can. And I mean, then you can place infantry models in front, like especially if you have model with reach, you place it just outside of 2 inches, which means the Sector Vault can't really advance anywhere.
Yeah, because if it will advance, it will die.
It's gonna die, and I mean it can't shoot either because it doesn't have weapons platform. So it's got gunfighter, but if it advances into something into melee, it can do gunfighter shots without reach into melee.
Yes, but I think the important thing is that it's still a magic weapon, that it's not common in.
I agree.
Minions.
So what I like about the Sector Vault, it's a good like problem solver. It's got eyeless sight and it's got medical weapons. It's got a remove from play effect on the gun. So if we, for example, see more of Haley 3 coming out, I think the Sector Vault is like a good piece against them, because it ignores the. I mean, it's gonna ignore the cloud wall. It can RFP like horses and trenchers. It's immune to revive.
Yep.
With Soulstorm, because it's gonna come back at 1 box and charge into it. It's a good ADR piece. It's a good model to put in for specific solutions that you're struggling with. I would personally only go with probably 1 ever, because as I said earlier, it's really slow. It's gonna probably have to run on position two times before it can actually get some work done. And yeah, it's easy to outmaneuver by the enemy.
Sure. To be honest, we have played a little bit in Sector Vaults, and we have one of our colleagues, Herudayo from Krakow, has come to a really nice list with him for the Lilith 2. It really changes the matchups.
Okay, interesting. I would love to see it.
Two Sector Vaults, 2 Ravagors, Naga, and some support. It's really annoying.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, it's interesting to talk about it outside of minions as well. I think it's good with
People loves it.
Fraser, yeah, people want obviously. I also think that Fraser McFettridge played him with Pete Agrush, Sector Vault with Death Shroud, and I'm not sure if you got Spiny Growth on it, but still, I mean, you still get to armor 22 with Death Shroud. That can't be debuffed.
You could get it if he had an option to take the Wrong Against Snapjaw, which I'm not sure he can.
I think Wrong Against Snapjaw works for everybody.
But
I'm not sure if he was in this. But it's still, I mean, even then, it's still. You can put Tenacity on it, because that's
you can. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, so you can still get it to armor 23.
You could get with the Spiny Growth if you would put the Wrong Against Snapjaw and Bull Snapper both.
Yeah, but I think it's easy to just put Tenacity on it and save the points for Legion Beasts.
Yeah, when it goes to the armor 21, it's really annoying.
Yeah, and I mean with Death Shroud in melee it goes to armor 23. So so that's also nice. I think it's Death Shroud, I'm not sure. The thing is strength.
The Draconic Aura.
Yeah.
The Death Shroud lowers the armor of the target you are in middle with.
No. I mean, Thagros has this aura thing that
It's in
decreases.
Isn't it in Draconic Aura?
I'm
Oh,
not sure.
whatever.
Okay. He has
Oh,
he has some strength debuff aura that actually
yeah,
pushes
but
the walls.
what do you think about the mid treasure? I personally, when I looked first initially at the rules, I was not really impressed. But as when I put a little bit more thought into it, I kind of liked it.
It's I think
The bulldoze is really strong.
the bulldoze is good. That's for sure. I don't like the. I mean, it's hard. I think it's hard to balance because I don't like it without reach, and with reach it might be too strong. I'm not a big fan of the Mat 5 like gun, even though it's 2d3. Pigs can fix it. I mean, Helga has got distraction, so you can get it to Rat 7 or Rat 9 if it aims.
Sure.
It's a pretty good beat stick. It's going to be probably better with the splatterboard because it can get to PS 18 instead of 16, and then it can get really some work done. But it's still defense 10, armor 19. The only armor buff it can get, I think, is Defender's Ward from Helga, and I think without having actually played it, I think it's going to get a big risk of getting just shot off the table or controlled. Because it still has the problems that the big bases have, that if the opponent can find a wall and camp behind it, it's hard to get like good charges and movement off.
Okay, I get it. Now maybe let's go for units.
Where do we start?
Crow Raiders, the obvious one, the best unit.
Yeah, I mean, so if you haven't kept up with War Machine or Hordes lately, Crow Raiders are out and they're amazing.
They are, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Still, Posa and Shamblers are also considerable.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you can consider them. However, Crow Raiders are just bloody amazing.
They are. I mean, and especially for Gators, they solve so many problems because Gators has already been pretty slow. We could like get one Gator or something pretty far out between throws and boundless charge and stuff and warpath. But when you actually have advanced deploying Crow Raiders that can with speed 6 and that can shoot 10 inches, if the opponent starts, they can only go 9 inches outside of the deployment zone before you can actually shoot at them. So they introduce like a huge, like just by existing, which Gators didn't have before. And the Legion matchup has changed so vastly since they dropped that. Like I used to have problems with P-Veil and E-Veil. I think those were the hardest matchup, but they're like almost trivial these days together with Pendrake.
Well,
so yeah.
What I would say about the Crow Raiders is, how to put it simply, this is the reason why Winions will not get an access to snipe for a whole unit.
I think that the next cast is gonna be a Dead Eye Snipe caster. Absolutely.
No! Maybe Parasite on top of it.
And it's gonna have like a theme force that gives Crow Raiders FAU.
Oh my god, no. No! I don't agree for that. Maybe Artillerist also.
Yeah, Artillerist and maybe
Advanced. That would be broken.
And maybe Advanced move.
Advanced move. Yeah, what else?
I think that the Shadowfire, the sprint on kill is also possible.
Oh, run and gun?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't want to. No. Change the subject.
I think that Crow Raiders are so interesting in the topic of. I didn't see it yet, but I'm thinking that maybe Barnaba could use most of them. The unshootable.
Yeah, I think that
unshootable Crow Riders went and pop and drop fit.
Yeah, I mean absolutely. I mean they're good for every Gator caster, like every single one. Barnabas definitely does a lot for them between Swamp Pits and Iron Flesh and the feet, which just can like if if the opponent is not careful, they'll just instantly kill the Warcaster. So, but I mean, it's also good with Maelok. I think after I've been trying revived Croak Raiders, I think I liked it better actually. And when we're gonna see Linus and what's her name? Linus and
Linus and Lizzie, whatever.
yeah, Linus and his sidekick.
Edra.
Edria. I think between like you can have like double revive Croak Raiders. One can aim. He can also get the what's the ability collaboration?
Yeah.
Boosted to hit roll. The goes to Mat 8 boosted, and then his body can walk up and oil like a caster or something, and you're gonna hit pretty much everything.
As
So
I
I
said,
think it's gonna.
just wait for the
But
option.
it's only friendly warrior, I think.
Yeah, so you will
Yeah.
point at the dude who will throw the oil.
Yeah. I mean, it's not entire unit, but it's going to be like one aiming Croak Raider that goes to Rat 8 and then has boasted. And if they're looking at the Warcaster, I mean, because the Chain Revive extends so far, they're going to have a great threat range, and Linus can also get collaboration up from like something like 18 inches away, I think. So I think it's going to be pretty hard to protect against.
Sure.
And of course, Caliban is great with Parasite. He can also stealth them. Jaggy Yaga gives them Spell Pierce and Ghost Walk. And I mean, they're good with Rask as well. He can also do like if you do like a throwing assassination with Rask, he can actually, if he charges up the first turn, he can actually get thrown twice and then stand and aim into something into the deployment zone. I think on the other side. So you either get paralysis or you can strip it off of focus, and then have the Croak Raiders go to town. And I mean, Rask is pretty safe still. He doesn't have to be do or die big. He can still feat on the second turn. He can be standing on admonition and have shamans around him. So you don't even have to risk everything on the game. So yeah,
it's really,
they're pretty
good. Really good.
Yes.
Pretty. I think something around 6 out of 10.
Yeah, 6-ish, maybe 6.5.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, and maybe some units you like in picks?
But I mean, I sort of like the Brigands. I like the Warlord as well. I think everybody can agree that the Warlord is overpriced, considering how his abilities work. I mean, I could see him cost 2 points generally. I still pay 3.
1 point would be overkill, but 2 would be reasonable.
Yeah, or if he had like just tactics on all his abilities for 3 points.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I still take two warlords with Carver, and gang on pigs are really good. I mean, also slaughterhousers. They're a good unit. They're great with Saxon Orc when they can actually hug behind walls and get Pathfinder over them. But I think in the future it's going to be probably the Light Beast that's going to take over.
Okay. We all know that the Posey are still good unit, the Shambles are still good unit, the Bone Grinders are still situational.
Yeah, it's really good with Midas. Bone Grinder spam with Midas is really good.
Would you agree that basically minions have really good selections of units throughout the faction? Maybe because of the limited access to options.
I mean, as a whole faction, I would say that of course they have good access to units based on the Gatorman Pass,
I think that the most problem is the units are good, but the splitting the half is a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
Maybe in the next, in the future packs, we will have an option to mix and choose, which would be a little bit retarded, but hell.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on it. I think they're gonna keep it separated, and we see some few spillover models.
Maybe in some team forces.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we have some spillover. I think we have. I mean, Bone Grinders can work for Caliban. We have Saxon Orc that works for both packs. Yep. No, sorry, Pendrake. Sorry, works for both packs. The Bone Swarm can be used by Midas in his theme force, for example.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I think we are left with solos. Mm, now, now it's for me getting a little bit tough. I of course love the FR scouts,
Yes,
which are
they're
just
really good.
amazing.
They're amazing.
I, th-
Yeah,
I
go
think
on.
the really important solo for now is Swamp Gobber Chief that can work
Oh
for
yeah,
both sides and gives option for
Fury management.
fury management. Yes,
Yes. He's interesting for sure. I like him probably better in pigs than I do in gators, but I mean, I think you can do a lot of fun stuff with him.
the thing is that in Gators you don't want to lose infantry, and in
No,
pigs
but
you've
I
got
think it's gonna be
better war beasts. So
yeah. But I mean, you can still use it. I think one area I think he would shine in gators would be Yaga Yaga again, because if you want to build like a fat gun line with croaks and speeders, you could really go to town on forcing all the blasts, and then have like you could have like just swamp unit of swamp gubbers and the chef. So I mean, the chef can sacrifice himself for fury management if you need a one turn. He can sacrifice a swamp gubber if you don't really need a cloud.
I was really
Because I
considering.
don't think,
Please, sorry.
yeah, and but I mean, but I mean, what you say, Jeremy, is true. The gauges don't have like the chaff infantry uh, to be
Shamblers.
used for. Shambles, that's true.
I was
That's
really
actually
considering
correct.
because of that Caliban.
Hmm?
With the Grave Walker coming out, you have the option to parasite things at last. I was really
Hmm?
considering going with some kind of gun line with Caliban because the parasite and
Yes.
with one unit of Shamblers and a Gorbachev.
Yeah. Yeah. I can absolutely see that.
it's quite interesting idea, but it I think need to be checked.
Yeah, of course. It really
Hmm.
needs some testing before I can really judge if it's worthy or not, as we know,
Hmm.
all the
Still,
lists.
the problem I see is that Caliban is not boosting to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
It could be problematic.
Hmm.
Not if you input the Swamp Gober River Raiders.
That. Yeah. I'm not really sure what to make
I
about
think
those.
that they still need to hit.
Oh, come on, they have Mod 5?
Yeah, yeah, and you can actually put carnivore on them against living, so they can go to mat 7.
See? Mod 7.
Mat
See? I'm
7.
telling you. And they are reducing the defense. Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they might find some niche. But the thing about minions generally is that you can't afford to put like waste points in the list. Like
Yeah, that's
every
true.
point in the list has to work against like doing work and doing damage because we don't have much redundancy. We don't have that high base power that gets like I'm gonna scalpel that thing out. So everything you put into like control elements takes away from your damage output, and then it can be problematic if you run into skews. So yeah.
I get it. Just one more thing I wanted to talk about regarding the minions. What do you think about the Gremlin Swarms? And it just came to my mind. What do you expect from the new solo?
Which solo?
The bog truck with an harpoon.
Oh yeah, the harpoon bog trog. Yeah. I think the speculation is pretty much it's gonna be something with ambush and drag
And
probably
which
on a
would,
medium base.
yeah, it could be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think could be really fun.
I I think that advanced deployment is more reasonable than ambush, but maybe I'm wrong.
It all
Mm,
depends if it would have the light artillery rule. Because if
I
he
don't.
does have the light artillery rule and it's not ambush, I do not see it played very often.
I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
I don't think he will be light artillery.
no, I don't think so either. I mean, I would expect ambush and some drag, ability. And I think that would be pretty fun for 2 points if he's got like some good damage output. Because the biggest like benefit from I think Bog Trog Shamblers, or no sorry, Bog Trog Ambushers, uh, is that it forces your opponent to deploy more centrally because they
Yeah.
really don't. I mean, it's hard to predict what you can actually give away to the ambushers, and if I can get that same effect from a 2 point solo, for example, if you just assume it's gonna be 2 points, I think that's gonna be way worth it. I mean, I can even play two for 4 points. I can have one ambush in early and still have the other one in reserve, just to sort of keep the opponent's support very honest. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
I assume you were kind of excited.
I'm almost never excited until I see the actual rolls, but because I'm terrible at speculating.
Okay.
Just give me some stuff and I'll make it
Okay,
work.
so if you're terrible at speculating, let's then talk a little bit more about the speculations. What do you expect? What do you expect the trends would be in 2016? Are we gonna find and see more Minions player come to the stage because of the new releases, or do you think it will stay reasonable in the same numbers as they do now?
I think we're gonna see more Minos player definitely because the
So
faction options have opened up tremendously. I mean, the gap has closed between the pigs and the gators. The gators still have a lot of new toys coming out, and there's a lot of options to explore, especially in ADR. So I would expect to see both pure gators, pure pigs, and gators and pig mixes being
Okay.
played in tournaments.
Or as long as you do not consider going to Iron Gauntlets. Although it's just fine.
I could maybe see going with maybe one pig list. I think my dream with Aragon would be to go with the Carver Spam and Cheese, the
Yeah.
Arcadius Pure Light list, and I think Midas with also like a good amount of splatterboars. And then at 75
Oh,
points, I would play basically
no,
Midas, and 80 points of pigs, and I would feed
no!
everything back.
You madman, stop it!
That would be my dream scenario, and I wanted to make it
Oh,
happen.
it just
Almost wet dream.
yeah, it just triggered something in my mind. Do you think that in the nature of the beast was it really, let's say, intentional that Battleboard and Splatterboard are not listed minion war beasts with the Razor Board benefit?
Yeah,
Or do you think
absolutely.
it could be errated?
No, I don't think so. I think that, I mean, if I could get like a free razor board for a battle board, that would be stupid good. I mean, that would break that list for sure.
Maybe for maybe for Splatterboard, not for Battleboard, but one of the two.
I mean, same thing. If I could get like effectively 3 point splatter boards, that would be crazy good.
Absurd.
Yes.
Okay. So, yep.
So do you think that the Malok and Rask are the pair that could be the most often seen outside of ADR in 2016?
I'm not really sure because I've been talking about Rask and Malok for so long that I would expect to like see them more. But I think that people are. It seems to be trending more towards Barnabas now. Actually, that's the pairing I most commonly say is Rask Barnabas when people post lists. I still think that Malok is like the better option, but it sort of depends on how I want to like drop the lists. Malok has a very specific grindy, attrition-y gaming style that might not be for everybody.
Sure. I can get it.
And I mean, Barnabas is more party. Just drop everything, blast it with Croak Raiders, and call it a day.
Okay. I think maybe we'll talk as it's the last episode in this year. So maybe some. What are our plans or aims for the next year in the War
starting with
Machine?
our guest host, so Ricard.
Oh wow.
Way to put you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, I haven't actually decided. I mean, last year it was like a very scattered year for me. I played some Gators until the Croak Raiders came out, and I also had to play some Cricks for WTC, so I actually didn't get as much time with Venus as I wanted. And at the end of the year, I just wanted to play around and try some Carbon Jaga Yaga. So I think for me, I'm I'm gonna experiment more. I'm gonna maybe sacrifice some like tournament competitiveness just to try out new stuff and just see like how the pieces play. So um, yeah, yeah, probably that's the thing for me. Just play around more and see what clicks. At least
Okay.
for the first half.
And Jaro?
First of all, I'm planning to sit on Merckson for the first half of the year. It may change if I will be asked to play on WTC, because then I maybe change to other faction that I will be playing there. But for now, it's the plan. It's finally get this package with my shy list.
I also am waiting for my package from Bob.
Uh, yes, but I'm waiting third month.
Oh,
And the second thing is to uh, continue with our podcast.
That's a good goal.
yeah. I agree with the second goal of Jaro because it's also my goal to continue our podcast and as we are now mainly Polish podcasts, maybe branch out more into the English side to attract some viewers, but also spread some of our Polish love outside of Poland.
Yeah, I would love to hear that more because like in every WTC, the Polish has shown up and has had a really strong showing with I think a lot of unique lists.
Yeah,
And I know that you are really good. I mean, you have a very unique meta with a really with some really strong players. So I would love to hear more of your thoughts and just like how do you like put your lists and stuff together and how do
sure,
you think when you build them? I think it's
sure.
gonna be good.
Maybe in a couple of months we will start to do that. I believe for the at least first, let's say, quarter of the year, we will stick to the Polish routine, but later, who knows?
Yeah.
I think
Uh,
maybe we'll start doing something like 1 week Polish, 1 week English.
yeah, maybe to
Mm.
polish a
So,
little bit of our English.
Mm.
and if you have any topics that you would like to us to talk about, then you can always drop PM to us or leave comment on our site, and we'll I think we'll address this topics. For now, we currently had been working on creating podcast for more beginner
Yeah,
players.
newer players, the maybe not the player who just started the game, but the player who is really considering his first steps into the tournament voyage.
Mm.
Because I think that there are many topics on Polish forums about this, how to get into the game, and I think that it should be, if it's spoken, it's maybe a better media than just forum.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, and to jump into my this year's resolution, as I introduced myself in the very beginning, and most of our Polish viewers know, I have put my circle on the shelf for the almost a year now, and it's continuing to do so. I'm going to play more Signar. I'm going to venture a little bit more to the other, maybe to other countries finally. I hope so at least. And well, for the second part of the year, maybe I will go a little bit more into retribution once again because I'm still on the hype from our last podcast.
I'm still thinking for the second half of year, retribution or Crix.
I'm considering mainly retribution or the Saint Signar, but well, the time will tell. For now, I would like to once again thank you very much, Rikard, for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you once again.
Thank you for inviting me. It was fun.
We are always open for the guests that would like to talk with us and give their insights.
Yeah, it's really awesome that we can expand this meta, expand our views outside of only Poland or Europe. It's really amazing how the community came to fruition in the last couple of years.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, everybody, we're gonna wrap this up. I would like to, on behalf of myself and I believe my colleagues here, I would like to wish everybody a happy new year and may our New Year's resolutions come into fruition.
Happy New Year.
Exactly.
So thanks for listening. This was Adam.
Yarrow.
And Rickard.
See you next time.
See you in next year.